Tonight, the weather emergency 1-2 punch and the race to respond after a powerful hurricane blasts Hawaii. More than 3 feet of rain dropping in some places, with Hurricane Lala dumping water on the Big Island, swamping these homes. Others totally swept away. Hundreds of thousands of people without power as we speak, and the danger is not over yet. We're live on the ground. And in Indiana, a growing flood disaster. This apartment building on the brink of collapse, evacuated in the middle of the night. Families wading through water to see what's left behind. Our team's in the flood zone. Claims of a new crisis on yet another ship in the Middle East, with fallout today from conditions on the USS Lincoln. How the American military is pushing back. What we're learning about the Revelation's Playboy founder Hugh Hefner may have tried to tip off the FBI about Jeffrey Epstein years ago. An incredible save. This building on fire. Look at that, flames shooting from the window. And this woman's leap of faith into a firefighter's arms. Massive street takeover in L.A. Cars screeching to a stop. Fireworks and looters trashing this store. What police are doing to try to crack down. The new warning tonight about a deadly flesh-eating bacteria. Cases on the rise and why it's becoming more common. The sports world mourning the death of a pitching legend. His name associated with a career-saving surgery. How baseball is remembering the life and legacy of Tommy John. A daring heist overseas. How thieves made off with these precious works of art. They are short, they're squat, and they're oh so cute. We'll take you to a global corgi competition.
This is NBC Nightly News with Hallie Jackson.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the urgent race to respond to 2 weather emergencies, with devastating flooding in Indiana and new images today of the destruction from Hurricane Lala in Hawaii. You see it here, what it looks like after Lala dumped 3 feet of rain overnight in some spots, waves pummeling this bridge. And here, rescuers say they saved 2 paramedics from getting swept away in their truck. And on the mainland, in the Midwest, this is what it looks like after days of record rainfall in Indiana. Entire neighborhoods underwater. Our teams are on the ground covering both of these emergencies tonight. And we begin with Morgan Chesky in hard-hit Hawaii.
Tonight, Lala's damage coming into focus after lashing Hawaii's Big Island overnight. The eye of the storm passing 30 miles off the island's southern coast, dumping feet of rain and hitting coastal areas with dangerously high surf. Teams rescued a woman from a tree after a flash flood swept her home away. Video shows floodwaters surging in front of this house. Hawaii National Guard saving 2 paramedics trapped inside their own truck.
Taking down the sign.
Before it, too, was washed away.
The trash can's moving.
All that water wreaking havoc island-wide.
Dude.
From a drenching that felt nonstop.
There's rushing water, there's debris, and there's boulders on the road, and it's dark.
Oh, my God.
The storm so strong, the current washed out this road, taking down trees with it. In Hilo, water churning under this bridge, and drone video capturing roads completely submerged. The highest rainfall total from this storm, more than 42 inches along the Big Island's northeast coast. Winds there reaching more than 70 miles an hour, ripping roofs off buildings. Lala downgraded to a tropical storm overnight, as hundreds of thousands go without power today. Just south of Hilo in Mountain View, Wendell Kazi and his family working to clear roads of downed trees.
What were you telling the grandkids as this one moved in?
Yeah, they kept asking, is this the storm? Is this the storm? Yes, but trying to keep it so that it's not so scary.
After losing their home to Hurricane Iniki in 1992, tonight, the family grateful to have survived a rare second Hawaiian hurricane.
Morgan is joining us now from the Big Island. And Morgan, we're just learning the airports there are reopening.
Yeah, Hallie, that's right. The Department of Transportation saying that both major airports on the Big Island are back open, but they're encouraging travelers to still check with their airlines before heading out. In the meantime, we are also hearing from state officials who say that there are limited reports of any injuries and no reports of anyone missing. Hallie.
Some good news there. Morgan Chesky in Hawaii. Thank you. To the other flood emergency unfolding tonight in Indiana, and Maggie Vespa with a new look at the aftermath from devastating storms there.
After days of deadly storms, tonight devastation on display in Indiana as floods recede. New drone video shows this bridge near Indianapolis wiped away by raging floodwaters. This roadway also destroyed. Authorities overnight forcing residents to evacuate nearby apartments, fearing they'll collapse. This is that road here. The destroyed part is totally submerged. And this is the apartment complex just feet away where residents tell me first responders were banging on their doors overnight, urging them to get out. Have you ever seen it this bad?
No.
Never?
Never.
It caps a wild week of violent storms. From Kentucky to Utah and new flooding in Ohio this morning. Weather turning deadly in multiple states. At least 7 people killed in Indiana, according to state officials. Today, evacuees in Indianapolis boating and wading to their homes, desperate to see the damage. Among them, Luisa Senor.
You can see the water line.
The career ICU nurse shooting this video inside her home, its floors and bathtub caked in filth. When you saw how your home looked, how did that hit you?
It was what I had expected. Spent a lot of time renovating and doing a lot of work to it. It was difficult.
Johnny Green just gave up his flood insurance after paying off his home. He's injured and unable to work right now.
I've been off work now 6 weeks and I haven't had a paycheck. Short-term disability hasn't kicked in.
But it seems like everyone needs help.
Everybody needs help, not just me.
Maggie is joining us now from Indianapolis, where, Maggie, they are hoping this next round of rain is far less damaging.
Yeah, Hallie, they definitely are. And you can see how high the water still is here in this neighborhood. It's expected to drop by 2 feet by tomorrow morning. That said, a thunderstorm watch was just issued for this area. As you point out, bringing more rain. Forecasters say it shouldn't be enough to raise flood levels, at least not substantially. Hallie.
Maggie Vespa in the flood zone, thank you. New concerns tonight about life on board American ships in the Middle East, with the military pushing back. Julie Sirkin reports.
Tonight, concerns about another carrier ship in the Middle East, with U.S. Naval Forces Central Command denying a new report of a supply crisis on the USS Boxer. A family member telling the left-leaning Midas Touch News that women have run out of feminine hygiene items, writing they were begging us to send products, but none got delivered. Navy CENTCOM calling the claim false, adding the ship is fully equipped and has had 2 major deliveries this month. A social media account for the ship posting these photos today showing Marines and sailors distributing fresh deliveries, writing stocked, supplied, ready. It comes after service members on the USS Abraham Lincoln reported dealing with poor conditions, a longer than usual deployment, and low morale, according to their relatives. President Trump and the Pentagon dismissing it all.
We know they're not.
On Saturday, the U.S. Admiral overseeing the war effort visited the Lincoln, according to Central Command. Admiral Brad Cooper on board the ship as it prepares to make the journey home. The USS George Washington to be deployed in its place. Senator Ruben Gallegos says he communicated with the spouse of a service member on the Lincoln, who reports the issues are ongoing.
As of 3 days ago, she was sharing with me text messages that her husband was forwarding to her, as well as pictures. You're going to have problems with retention once people get back and families start meeting again.
Key Senate Democrats are pressing the Pentagon for answers. In a new letter to Secretary Pete Hegseth, all 13 Democrats on the Armed Services Committee asking what led to food and water shortages, broken plumbing, and mental health crises severe enough that multiple sailors reportedly attempted to go overboard, and asking for a clear timeline for the crew's return. Julie Sirkin, NBC News.
So the latest in the case of Jeffrey Epstein, with the lawsuit now saying Playboy founder Hugh Hefner contacted the FBI with allegations against Epstein years ago. Here's Valerie Castro.
Another development in the case against Jeffrey Epstein as revelations surface from a lawsuit against the FBI, claiming famed Playboy magazine publisher Hugh Hefner called the Bureau to report him, but no investigation followed. In the complaint filed in the U.S. District Court in southern Florida in May by several of Epstein's victims, former Playboy model Audra Lynn Christensen says she turned to Hefner for help. In a podcast with Roseanne Barr last year, Christensen recalling an encounter at a hotel with Epstein that she says would lead to a decade of being trafficked.
You know, he came back, he had a towel on, and I froze, and I was terrified after that.
and he raped me.
The lawsuit states in 2005, while she was living at the Playboy Mansion, Mr. Hefner called the FBI multiple times on behalf of Ms. Christensen to report Jeffrey Epstein. And Hefner explained that Jeffrey Epstein had trafficked and abused Ms. Christensen. But the suit claims the FBI did not investigate and rather waited 15 years before reaching out to Christensen about the allegations in 2020. A redacted report of the Bureau's call to her reads, "Before she knew it, she was naked and raped by Epstein." The FBI declined to comment, and attorneys for Christensen could not be reached. In June of this year, attorneys for the U.S. government sought to dismiss the lawsuit, alleging the FBI is not required to investigate every complaint filed. After Hefner died in 2017, several women came forward with allegations of rape and sexual assault against him as part of an A&E docuseries, Secrets of Playboy, though no formal complaints were ever made or investigated. We reached out to the Hefner estate for comment, but have not heard back. In the past, his son called the allegations salacious stories. But the scrutiny remains on the Epstein investigation as survivors continue to push for answers. Valerie Castro, NBC News.
Dramatic new video tonight from an apartment fire in Berlin with a woman perched on a ledge, jumping to safety to get away from flames. Danielle Hamamjian is joining us now for more. Danielle, what do we know about what happened here?
Yeah, this fire in a high-rise building happened on Friday, and the spokesperson for the fire department in Berlin said it was a dramatic rescue operation, and you can see why. Take a look at this. A woman trying to escape the blaze is seen hanging from the edge of a window. The fire is raging from the window next to her, and she has nowhere else to go. This is all happening on the 11th floor. You see the firefighter trying to align the rescue basket 2 floors down, and then she goes for it. Incredibly, police say she only sustained minor injuries. Watch again. Perfect aim, perfect timing. She leaps right into the firefighter's arms. More than 100 people were affected. 25 of them had to be rescued. Hallie?
Wow, Danielle Hamamjian, thank you. Here at home, a chaotic street takeover leading to looting nearby. Just the latest example in L.A. of an increasingly popular and problematic trend. Here's Ryan Chandler.
Tonight, the push to crack down on chaos in the street. Fireworks exploding, tires burning, filling the air with smoke as more than 100 cars took over this LA intersection. Flames breaking out in the middle of an unruly crowd as police try to disperse an overwhelming scene. They say this latest street takeover broke out early Saturday morning, turning destructive. Dozens of looters trashing this liquor store, stealing alcohol, smashing glass and security cameras. Furious employees left to clean up the damage beside the skid marks of burning tires when the smoke cleared.
We've worked so hard to establish this business over 11 years, and just for it to be done after just, 10 minutes of people coming in here and taking everything that we have and we've built is just very sad.
Local law enforcement says it's a concerning pattern of lawlessness. Last week, another crowd ransacked this AutoZone, police calling it a mob-like burglary as young people in hoodies and masks cleaned out the store shelves. The Los Angeles Sheriff's Department now urging the public to help, releasing wanted posters to help track down some of the at least 27 suspects captured on camera. Out-of-control trend burns through city streets. Ryan Chandler, NBC News.
Also tonight, health officials sounding a new alarm about rising cases of a deadly flesh-eating bacteria that could be at some popular beaches. Ann Thompson reports.
This is prime time for America's coasts, but in the warm waters lurks a hidden danger, the naturally occurring bacteria Vibrio vulnificus, which can cause flesh-eating infections. It puts 17-year-old Josiah Thompson in the hospital this summer after he went swimming with a cut off the coast of Niceville, Florida, says his mom, Tirza.
How big was the scratch on Josiah's leg?
It was a nick. It was a very scary experience.
Josiah needed 2 surgeries to stop the infection.
Thankfully, we felt like there was no bone affected. It was all soft tissue.
There are 80,000 cases a year, reports the CDC, and the infections kill 1 in 5 people. This year, Florida reports 2 deaths, Louisiana 5. There, officials urge beachgoers to take precautions. You get Vibrio swimming in salt or brackish water with an open cut, or eating raw or undercooked shellfish.
We have to move quickly. Sometimes it can, within hours or even one day, a person can lose a limb. It's a pretty serious infection.
Symptoms include fever, chills, and a painful rash. Once mainly in the Gulf Coast, cases now happen as far north as New England, and climate change heating the oceans is thought to be why. Josiah is now back in school with just a scar and a summer memory no one wants. Ann Thompson, NBC News.
The sports world is remembering legendary pitcher Tommy John tonight. The former MLB star died at the age of 83 Saturday. His name, synonymous with the groundbreaking elbow surgery that saved his career and those of countless other baseball players since. Tommy John played for teams including the Dodgers and Yankees and is survived by his wife and 3 children. We are back in a moment with Ukraine launching one of its biggest drone strikes yet, targeting Russia's version of Amazon. Next. Back now with Ukraine launching one of the biggest attacks on Russia overnight since that war began. In all, more than 800 drones aimed at targets near Moscow. Several people were killed. And a warehouse for wild berries, Russia's version of Amazon, you see it here, went up in flames. Also tonight, a daring art heist in Italy with these priceless Renaissance works stolen from a Sicilian museum. Officials say the thieves took advantage of a big religious celebration nearby as a distraction. It comes after surveillance video surfaced this week showing a different museum art theft in northern Italy. And take a look at this, the running of the corgis, a worldwide competition of the cuties with dozens of them competing in races. They had barking competitions, plenty of them dressing the part as well in Lithuania. Love to see it. That is nightly news for this Sunday. Baseball is up next with the Mariners at the Astros. I'm Hallie Jackson. For all of us here at NBC, thanks for watching and have a great week.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.